Common PUBG player, if you want to learn how to beat enemies that are better than you are, you're going to need to learn some urban warfare tactics. You're going to have to learn how to play a tactical game. And if you're as common as I am, which means I only have a few hours a week to play, and my gun game isn't the best, a tactical game is going to help you get more wins. Get over here to this little town and get this loadout. Now I dropped far from the flight path so that I can get my loadout without having to engage enemies. Now I'm discovering that one of the hardest things in the game is to wait until the end to engage your enemies. Now, I'm going to recommend that you play your casual matches, because if you're not interested in the bots, which I'm not, you're going to be playing real players in the end anyway. You're going to end up with 2 or 3 fairly decent players in the last circle. And so you're going to have to play a tactical game, especially if they're superior to you, or if they have more time in the game and they just kind of understand how things work. So, I would play every single casual match, and this is why. For one, you're going to get this map. You're going to get a wrangle. Now, a wrangle is the first map that PUBG put out. They put a lot of work into this, and you're always going to get it in your rotation of maps. There's not going to be any rotations that you don't get this map. It's also the map that they play the pro games on. The second reason is learning your maps is a skill that just takes a long time. And so you're going to get to learn this map well. And you're going to get to learn, for example, the flight path that I looked at before I chose this town. You're going to find out how long it takes to float out to those little towns, depending on where the flight path is. And you're going to get to learn the buildings. You're basically learning your home turf. And so you get 4 opportunities to play this map every single time you turn on your computer or your console. And what I would suggest is that you learn one town at a time. Drop into that town as much as you can so that you can learn it. I really didn't want to pick that up. And I've got a ways to go, so I better start headed that way. See if I can find a helmet and a couple of other items that I'm lacking. I'm gonna have to get to the bridge and get across probably. Now, everyone says, you know, you're a wimp if you play the casual matches because they're full of bots, but if you're playing a tactical game, you're not shooting at the bots. You're not engaging until that last circle. Those last circles. You only have to kill one team or one duo or one player to get the win. So especially if you're in the last circles and there are 3 teams left, why would you engage the second to last team and risk getting knocked out of the battle royale? It's not very strategic and it's not tactical to play that way. The other thing is, there are bots in almost every game. You know, PUBG is growing in popularity, and there may be one day when you have 100 people in the plane, 100 real players. But you're still not going to kill every single one of those players. So playing these casual matches is of complete value to you. You'll even begin to see that in certain places you find the weapons that you play with, like this MP5K. Got both my weapons. I accidentally picked up the wrong weapon. Noob error. I only have a little over 900 hours in the game, I think. I'm not quite at 1,000 hours in the game. I'm only a tier 2. Level 60 or so. And so, by many players' standards, you're a new player. If you don't have 1,000 hours in the game, you're pretty much a noob. And that's just how difficult it is to play PUBG. It's a huge learning curve. So if you can play with the same weapons, it's even of more value to you, because you're going to get better at those weapons. So I pretty much got my loadout. I'm going to head for that bridge because I've got to get across. Try to get into a tactical position before all the other enemies get there. There's still over 50 players in the game. Now I will shoot at a bot if he's damaging my equipment. I pretty much quit shooting at bots because they were revealing my position. As long as they're not damaging my equipment, I'm kind of okay with them shooting at me, because unless you're really paying attention, you probably can't tell where that bot is shooting at. And a lot of players are going to want to take out that bot. They're going to want that bot kill. The kill medals, the kill count medals, are kind of irrelevant to me, simply because there are bots in the game. The real proof of your salt in PUBG is your chicken dinner medals. And as a fairly new player, I have my 100 chicken dinner medal, but it didn't come easy. I had to play a tactical game. I've gotten a lot of kills in the last circle of the last player in the game. And many times those wins, that was the only kill I got. I'm not going to engage enemies on the way to the end circles. That's probably the hardest thing about playing a tactical game, especially when you start to play with duos and teams. You know, I kind of get it. It's a video game. We've got guns. There are other players. Why don't we shoot at each other? But I'm an extreme tactical player, which means I'll do everything. I'm going to try to be quiet rolling into this little area here. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get into the in circles. Need to get inside here. Get that win. Everything that I can do that will give me an advantage. Even playing with a female character, which I'm not the happiest about. But playing with a female character gives you a slight tactical advantage. I've got a video on that on my channel. Just gonna sit here and listen for a second. Get behind this board. I'm exactly in the center of the circle. If I can get the win, I'll have gotten win 112. And this is a casual match, but as you can see, I haven't heard anybody shoot. And I haven't encountered any bots. And you need to be careful thinking that, okay, I'm in a casual game and it's going to be easier, because you're going to play against tier 4s and 5s. Now, why are the tier 4s and 5s, level 500 tier 5s, playing their casual matches? They're getting to know the map. They're going after other things. So play every single casual match. Use it as warm-up if you think that casual games are easier. Now this is a pretty strategic piece of equipment. Not sure if I'm actually going to use this close to the circle here. But it is good to have. This is also a strategic piece of equipment. You know, the 12 times scope is not the best in the final circle. What it is good for is spotting your enemies. Probably going to try to head towards this area here. It's good for spotting your enemies. It's a very important part of getting the wins, knowing exactly where your enemies are, especially if you have gotten into those final circles with stealth. Way over here is where I plan to drop. Now I have to make the plan. Where am I going? There's probably people in those buildings there. So many things to learn in PUBG, but that's what makes it so much fun. Just gonna get down, get in the shadows. If I can identify my enemies. There are occasions when I have to engage the second to last or third to last player. They're behind me, and they're going to have to come up behind me, and I'm going to have to get into the circle. Now here comes someone with a fancy car skin. I just heard him. They'll tell you that you always need to be moving, moving, moving. Well, yes, if you're jumping hot and you can hear the gunfire going all the way around you, that rock is not in the circle. But if you've gotten into the circle stealthily, undetected, getting down and laying still, you'll have people just run right by you. They'll drive right by you. If you're crouched or if you're standing up and you're moving around, you're more easily spotted. This is not quite in the circle. But this is my favorite part of the game. Getting into these last few circles. I'm taking fire. That's a bot, and he's going to damage my equipment, so I'm going to have to eliminate him. Occasionally you'll get a bot in the last 10. Very rarely. I'm going to use this plane's noise to cover my running here. Comes another vehicle. So, one vehicle, the vehicle with the skin, that's a player. The UAZ's a player. Somebody up on top is a player. Got 2 players unidentified. Here it comes. I'll tell you why I would not use that fancy car skin. Because you're probably identifying yourself as a superior player. And I could throw the grenade and try to blow the car up, but he's going to hear the grenade hit. He's shooting at someone else. He's eliminating a player for me. If I throw the grenade, he's just going to move back away from the car. And then I'm going to have a player behind me coming towards me, forcing me into the circle to look for cover. I'm assuming he's that kind of player. I have to if I'm going to win. I can't just assume that he's not. There he goes. I guess he's looking. I wouldn't use cars in the end circle. It alerts everybody to your position. And why would would you want to knock yourself out of the Battle Royale with only 4 players in the game? And they're throwing grenades at each other. Someone threw smoke. I've got to move. You know, getting to this point, if you engage all the way to the end, you're raising your anxiety level or your blood pressure or your excitement or emotions or whatever. And you need to save that for this moment so that you can maintain your cool and maintain your head. Most of my losses in the final circle have come because of errors. And there he is. He's running up. And this would be a place to try to eliminate him, but I'm going to reveal my position to 2 other players. I don't want those other 2 players to know I'm here. Oh, he's got one coming up behind him here. And he got killed. Got killed by the ump. And if you're going to shoot at that enemy, you probably need to get that headshot. You have to shoot at him. Now I've got, where am I going to, I'm going to come up behind. Just wait. If I heal, he's going to hear me. Got the headshot. Good game. So thanks for watching. Common PUBG player. Play your casual games. They're going to help you out. We'll see you in the next time.